Howdy folks, and welcome to Hollywood, California. And this is a Nismo Z. But this is the 2026 Nissan Armada Nismo. And yes, like the Nismo Z, it has technical and aesthetic characters that build it up and make it into a more capable driver's vehicle. How much so? Well, in this video, we're going to go through what's skin deep and what's deep down inside. One of the first things you're going to notice is a much larger grille with Nissan and of course Nismo being very prominent. That way if you're behind somebody, they know that you're in a giant Nissan Nismo. But there's more to it than that. Now I wanted to show you, here's the Z. See that design that runs throughout that red stripe? Yep, you got it here, and it's larger. And what it does is it accentuates the lower arrow on this vehicle because, according to Nissan, pretty much everything you're seeing here that they added on is functional. So this larger grille is for cooling. And right here, that is a cooling duct, not a quack, a duct, that leads back to the brakes for cooling. This lower section, which is accentuated with the red stripe, is for aero. And you can see it running throughout. And that includes on the sides here. I also wanted to point out this front winglet that they have up here. Here's the Z. Have a look at that. Very similar in terms of design. Then going from, here's the over fender to the side here, you can clearly see that red design running throughout, once again showing off the arrow. Going all the way to the back. This is also functional, this section here. And this is for aero. And then this back section as well with the giant Nismo. This back section is, once again, for aero. However, don't worry, even though it looks like it's all one piece, there is a way to remove part of this to get to the hitch and allow you to tow up to 8,500 pounds. I'm going to show you part, not the pièce de résistance, but nearly, because under the hood, things have changed. You see, it used to put out 425 horsepower, but not anymore. They've changed a few things, and I'm not just talking about the red garnish on the engine cover. No. This puts out 460 horsepower. Now, it still puts out 516 foot-pounds of torque, but the torque curve has expanded. So it has a lower, larger level of torque, which makes it, I think, flatter, allowing it to expand on that. And of course, with 460 horsepower, it leapfrogs from being competitive and powerful to going over what Toyota has and what most GM models have and most Ford models have in terms of maximum horsepower. This thing is a monster now. Now, it still has a 9-speed automatic transmission, but it has been tuned by Nismo for sharper tuning. I'm sure it is probably going to be much better on the track with that much horsepower. And it also is a little bit more efficient than the Pro-4X version of the Armada. It does 1 mile per gallon better. I'm sure you're curious about weights and measures. Well, I can tell you one thing. At 210.9 inches in length, it's actually 1 inch longer than the Pro-4X, but it also weighs over 6,100 pounds. So she is heavy, but with the horsepower increase, lighter wheels, suspension, which is far more adjustable for track use and more aggressive driving, it should be a much better handling vehicle. And to show you, first of all, the door panel materials. It's a nice soft suede. There's a lot of raised red stitching. That's the whole Nismo thing that they've got going on. A little bit of blue lighting in here too. Nice soft texture here. So it does feel fairly plush. And then you have, I'm showing you here before I shut the door, this red line that goes all throughout the interior design and the red suede that they put into the seat backs. And of course, Nismo right there on the front and rear passenger headrests. So you can clearly see that there and there. And then there's this kind of carbon fiber thing going on. I'm not a big carbon fiber fan. It's not too bad because it's just very small. But the real, here we go, flip that around. You can see here in the door panel, here we go, along where the glove compartment is just below that, and more red stitching with suede inserts, and then leather with the red stitching up here. Two 14.3-inch screens here and here. And then on the steering wheel, you have a lot of the red stitching going on here on the horn, within the steering wheel itself, down here, and then Nismo, in case you need more of a reminder of what you bought. Now, unfortunately, Nissan has gone to this whole one-panel design instead of unique buttons on steering wheel design, and I'm not a big fan of that, but there's not a lot going on here, and the same goes on over here. This is here we go, shows you, doop, yep, showing you all that. And then paddles, once again, 9-speed automatic transmission, paddles. I love this. That is your LCD rear view mirror. I'm a big fan of these, and I'm glad that they put that in this vehicle. So altogether, oh, and it's also got the Klipsch or Klipschisch stereo system and push button transmission. Not a big fan, but it's pretty easy to use. I really wish they had a gear lever or something like that. And this is for your different drive modes. This is for your air suspension, and this shuts off your auto shutdown, which is a good thing. Trailer sway control systems with brake controller, all of that stuff is right here integrated. Yep. So the interior is a really nice place to be. Very comfortable seats, good screens, nice setup altogether. Far better than it used to be. So it's a cool Nismo design. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's something else going on with these seats, and that is adjustable seat bolsters. Now, what you're able to do is make them squeeze you more or less, which helps for performance driving. Now, it's not one of those systems that automatically does it and squeezes you and contracts and whatever. It doesn't do that. What it does is, as you push the buttons, you tell it whether you not want it to squeeze your body or not. Here we go, right there. So you can do it manually, and that allows for a tighter grip as you're going around corners and everything else to prevent you from sliding around. The Nismo only comes as a 7-passenger vehicle. There is no bench seat option, meaning that you get the 2 captain's chairs standard. But you do get full ventilation control back here with USB-Cs. The vents are up there, just like all other Nissan Armadas. For those of you who are curious, ride height has changed significantly, especially compared to the Pro-4X. Ride height on this vehicle starts at 8.9 inches. I believe that's about where it is now, and it can go up to a maximum of 10.9 inches, so there's a 2-inch lift. That is a lot lower than the Pro-4X, but that makes a lot of sense considering that this is not really an off-road vehicle. The pricing has not officially been released, and we are expecting to see these coming out late summer or early fall. And around that time, I'm hoping that TFL will have an opportunity to not only take this out on the track and have fun, but also see what it's like to drive daily in the mountains and perhaps here in the city. For TFL Studios, this is Nathan. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.